Hello, I am Vivien Gamayo and I'm going to show you some methods or ways that you can do during the earthquake to minimize the possible bad effects of it in our lives. Before we jump into the topic, let's first know what an earthquake is. Earthquake is the sudden shaking of the earth generated by the motion of seismic waves through the rock of the earth, which occurs suddenly. Earthquake hits everywhere, though in some places, the intensity and magnitude are not the same. The severity and strength can be extreme in some areas, and some locations may have a mild shaking of the ground, depending where the focus is. First, at home. What are the possible actions to lessen or totally eliminate the bad effects of earthquakes, you may ask? Well, I am here to show you what you should do. Before any possible earthquake, you must make sure that your stuff are sturdy enough to resist shaking. Avoid hanging any heavy stuff that may possibly fall during an earthquake. The first thing that I am going to share to you is something that most of us have practiced during an earthquake drill at school. Yes, it is the duck, cover, and hold. And yes, it helps. Once you felt aggressive shaking of the ground, you must start dropping down onto your hands and knees before the earthquake does. Next is to cover the most vulnerable parts of your body, the head and neck, underneath a sturdy table. Lastly, hold onto your cover until the shaking stops. Number 2 is to stay where you are. It is unnecessary to run around and panic. Third, once you felt the shaking intensifies, you better stay away from glasses, any hanging objects, cabinets, or any furniture that will most likely fall when the shaking intensifies. Fourth is to grab something that will help you protect your head and face. Fifth, if ever you were in the kitchen when the shaking starts, close the stove or any source that may start fire and cover immediately. Lastly, if you are in a bedroom, stay there and cover your face and head with a pillow. Now moving on to what you should do if you find yourself outdoor during an earthquake. First, if you are in a situation wherein you find yourself outside during an earthquake, stay there. Move away from buildings, street lights, or anything that you think may potentially fall during an earthquake. Lastly, once you are in an open space with no things that may potentially fall near you, you must stay there. Third situation is if you find yourself in a high-rise building. First tip is to not leave the building during an earthquake. You do not know the danger that will come on your. Do not use the elevator, for it may fall when the shaking intensifies. Third, do the duck, cover, and hold. Fourth, stay away from glasses or anything that may potentially fall during an earthquake. And last but not the least, grab some things that will protect your head and neck to prevent serious injuries.